My name is Emer and I am going to do my best to try and create, I'm calling it the crypto series, which is really aimed at anybody who has not got a clue about what all this is about, but's kind of curious, kind of feels that maybe they should be getting to know it. And it really is important, and I'm going to be, brutally honest here. This is coming so fast, and prior to the pandemic, I tried to talk to businesses, tell them the importance of being online and blah, 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 and they were not getting it. But when the pandemic hit, they got it. They got that importance. I am telling you now again, if you don't start to get your head around this, particularly if you are a business watching this, you're going to be in trouble in the very near future. That's it. That's my compelling reason for you to start to at least try, give it a go and try and understand a little bit more about this. So that's the tough love bit over. This is going to be fun from here on in as much as I can, because it is a very technical area, quite a difficult area to understand, but let's give it a go. So basically, I'm sure everybody's heard about Bitcoins. If you've heard about Bitcoin, let me know in the comments. Bitcoin is built on a blockchain technology. And people think they're one and the same. They're not. The technology is actually around since the 90s, believe it or not. And what it allowed was think of it like a digital diary. It's often called a ledger. But if you think of it, a diary might be easier to understand. So it's a way of keeping track of transactions that can prove that they happened. So it's like that kind of tracking record. It's out in the web. It's on servers, but they're decentralized. They're spread all across the world, and the idea of that is that it helps an awful lot more with security. So that if there is any problem with hacking, it alerts everywhere. Whereas when things are centralized, they're a lot more vulnerable to hacking. The idea with this, if decentralizing it or distributing it is a better word, just means it's spread out in numerous different places on the blockchain. So that's starting off with the blockchain. And the best thing I want you to think about from the beginning with all of this, do you remember the game Pass the Parcel? So Pass the Parcel was where we all got to pass the parcel around, and it had to go from one person to the other. And that's what blockchain actually allowed to happen with digital. Because if you think about it, on other technologies, if you send a copy, say on WhatsApp or by email or whatever, it leaves a trail of copies behind it. So that kind of devalues a lot of, say, the likes of photographers, musicians, bands and everything, because the digital and even software is because the digital could be transferred from one to the other in copies, which kind of diluted its value. Whereas with blockchain, that gives us the ability to give it from one to the other, and then it can't be in both places at the one time. So back in 2008, it's actually unknown who, Satoshi Nakamoto is how it's known as. They released a paper of this idea of peer-to-peer or person-to-person or whatever you want to think, basically meaning it can only be in one place at one time, and that it was a financial currency that had this ability. And that was what became known as Bitcoin. It was released in 2009, open source, for free as far as I know. It basically only had the shall we say the features of being a currency. It didn't have anything else along with it, just like any other currency. That was 2009. It's now worth over up on $50,000 for one Bitcoin. That'll just give you an idea how this has exploded. And I suppose it was a transparency, and people said it's not real and everything. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a bit more videos, or in my subsequent videos. This one is just a little bit of an overview of what Bitcoin was. So Bitcoin is basically, you can look at it like euro or dollar, whatever. It is just a currency. But the thing is, blockchains could offer an awful lot more than that. And that's why I'm sitting here with boxes. And you're probably going, what, has she lost it with boxes? But around 2013, a guy, I'm probably going to pronounce this, I'm brutalizing his name, but Vitalik, Butterin or whatever, Butterin something. But anyway, he's the co-founder of another cryptocurrency called Ethereum. And he could see the limitations of just the Bitcoin. So along with another guy, he, and I'll go into this a lot more, is he created Ethereum. And what Ethereum is, so it was another version of the blockchain. So we have the Bitcoin blockchain and we have the Ethereum blockchain. And trust me, there will be others to come along the way, because all they're doing is actually using the technology that's behind it. But the difference between the Ethereum and Bitcoin, and why Ethereum has started to get so popular and has started to blow things out of the water, I want you to think of it like it's like a currency and a box. So it's like you buy, you can think of it like a gift voucher or whatever. So, I mean, that's still just a piece of paper, but it's given a value. But inside, and they call them smart contracts, but if you think of it like a gift box, it has the ability that in that box, or the token as it's known as well, is that you can add in whatever you like. You can put whatever you like in that box. So I've seen, which was my very first NFT, and we're starting to move from Ethereum into NFTs right now, but you could put anything. So you can put, concert tickets, merchandise, access to whatever, all sorts of different goodies in a box. So that's Ethereum allows the ability to create that box. Okay, so I'm going to move that box aside just for a minute, because now we're gently, hopefully you're still with me, gently moving over to what are NFTs. So NFTs, this is why I have a nice pretty Christmas box. NFTs, people start to realize they could put visuals, which are obviously the most attractive, on and start creating what NFT stands for, non-fungible token, which means blah. I'm sure you'll agree. I didn't know what it meant either until I looked into it. And just so you know, I'm still very new at all this. I only figured out that NFTs, which are only probably around about a year or so. Last April, I didn't even know what an NFT was. But it was this ability to create a smart contract. And a lot of people started going, aha. And I got on board with a guy called Gary Vee, or Gary Vaynerchuk. And I've just learned so much. And that's what I really want to be sharing with you as I go on my journey, so that you can keep with me, so that I don't get too far ahead and you can learn it on your journey. So they give it an image so that you have something pretty. Think of it like this box versus a plain old white box. They pretty it up to make it more attractive. And then, so some of the projects, NFT projects out there, that's all you get. And I'm kind of going, okay. But what I have learned with Gary is, what are they doing with creating, and what are they actually putting in the box? That's what's important. So it's the what are they creating within the token, in the smart contract side of it, that makes it valuable? What is the longevity of it? What is it that, how will the person use it? And you, when you buy these tokens, so you can think of them like buying a gift card or something similar like that, or a voucher or whatever. The concept of it isn't that alien, really. It's, you buy something and you can redeem it for something else, or you can receive merchandise or whatever. There are different ways they can drop it. And I mean, it's absolutely exploding how this can get used. But that's what starts to make these really, really valuable, because it's like, what does owning one of these boxes, which, if you remember back to the whole idea of the blockchain, is I can only own it. I can't, duplicate it and give it to my friends. And it's, if I have it, I own it. If I want to sell it, I have to give it to them. And that's what starts making them so sought after, because they can only have one owner. And it's the value then that is created within them, which, some of it is gaming, some of it is, is around gaming and everything. But I'm looking at it, and I will talk about my different projects that I have bought into so far in more detail. But to me, it's mind blowing. There is so much in there, and this is what they're calling the metaverse. Okay, so it's all because it's decentralized. If you remember, I said it was decentralized. The blockchain is decentralized. It's everywhere in servers all around the world. That's why they call it the metaverse. If you look at what Mark Zuckerberg was talking about with Meta, he was on about, he's looking at it very much about augmented reality. So how we start to combine digital with the real world and everything. And there is just so much. It's so exciting. However, and this is one of my main reasons behind this. We need to start the conversation before it's too late of what is it that we want as a society from this as well. We're already looking at global warming. We're already looking at all these other problems around the world because we didn't think of the consequences until it was too late. But if we start asking the questions now, we actually start to help create and define it for what it is we want, not just for what maybe other people that might be a bit on the greedy side want, but what we want as a society. So that is my intention for all this. I hope you got something out of this. I forgot to mention, because this is my take 2. My first one I recorded in slow-mo, which was great fun. I was like, how the hell is it, whatever, that length. But I need you to interact with me on this. I need you to ask questions. I need you to say, Emer, I so didn't get that. Or Emer, God, yeah, okay, yeah, I got that little bit. Because it's about a conversation. Anyone who knows me, I'm all about the conversation. So even if we're doing it this way, you still need to ask me, what the hell are you talking about? How do I do this? I heard about this. Start asking questions. Because when we start asking, we start creating. And when we start, asking for more, it then is seen as a demand, and it starts to shape how these things are being done. Kind of get where I'm coming from on all this? So I hope you found that helpful. Please tell me you did. Bye.